I think homophobia still exists in schools because it really all boils down to misunderstanding and just not knowing you're a bit strange, so therefore you're different.
I think we see homophobic bullying in schools because it is entrenched in our language and it is entrenched in the way that we behave. We are used to using words like gay to describe things that are bad, and people don't realise the impact that that has on people who are gay.
I think to begin with it was a status quo thing, like they hadn't been preventing homophobic bullying, so they continue to not prevent homophobic bullying, even with Section 28 being repealed. I think it's getting better now, but in general it's something that gets quite overlooked.
Kids know what their parents know, and some parents are really, really homophobic, because that's how they grow up. They grow up knowing that being homosexual was something bad, and that was something that should be fixed.
If teachers felt more comfortable in confronting it in any form, be it pupils calling each other gay, it would make a big difference. Also, if pupils felt like they could confront it themselves without being labelled as gay, whatever, then it could make a huge change.
When you say that something worthless or something bad is gay, you are saying that the person that you're sitting next to in your class, who might also be gay, is also worthless and also bad. You don't realise the impact that that word has on people. To stop homophobic bullying, I think there needs to be an ethos promoted that homophobia is as unacceptable as racism or sexism or any other sort of discrimination. There needs to be a common understanding of what homophobia means and what it does to people and how it makes them feel.
I think the best way to stop homophobic bullying in schools is to teach the teachers. You have to educate the educators before they can educate anyone else. Giving teachers proper training on what homophobic bullying is, how it affects people, policies to put in place to prevent it, I think would be the best and most effective way to stop it happening.
One thing I think that could be done to stop homophobic bullying in schools is to show how people who are gay are no different and lead just as normal lives as everyone else.
One of the main things to combat homophobic bullying in school would be to provide some sort of training or process so that teachers or pupils can confront it without feeling like they're being labelled as gay themselves.
Homophobia might be acceptable, or it might be deemed to be acceptable in the school that you're in, but in wider society it is not acceptable. It's not acceptable in university, it's not acceptable in the workplace, and it's not acceptable if you're walking down the street in London on Oxford Street. It's not all right for someone to call you a batty boy or a dyke or anything in that league. It's just not acceptable. You have a duty to speak out against it if you want it to stop, and that's what I would do. I would encourage people to speak out.